Crypto Housewife. I want to talk a bit about Alex Becker and his plan for entering into the crypto market at the bottom. He figures that the real bear market has yet to begin. And when it does, he has a plan, a strategy. And in his latest video, my biggest crypto buy ever, expecting $110 million back. Well, this is very interesting stuff. Love Alex Becker, hate Alex Becker, it's up to you. But I gotta tell you, the man makes sense. And I don't think he's as dumb as he wants you to believe he is. Because I'm really listening to what he says, and I'm going over some of it with a fine-tooth comb. I have a playlist about Alex right here. You want to check it out. And I also have a Warren Buffett video that if you're into trading, you want to trade crypto, learn to trade a little bit about stock first. And this guy here, Warren Buffett, he has a strategy on when to spot a bottom and what to do when you do. And I would suggest watching that. Subscribe to my channel. Now, this is financial advice. And because today we are talking about Alex Becker, and he's going to be talking about buying in at the bottom of the bear market. And he admits he can't pinpoint it. I can't pinpoint it either, but he has a plan. So what is your plan? Do you have a plan? What do you plan on getting rich with crypto? Do you want to make millions with crypto or thousands of dollars with crypto? Well, having a plan, a smart plan, will actually help to come up with a strategy to try and make that work for you or for me or for anyone. And today I want to just go over what Alex has to say about it. And if you wanted to jump into the part that I'm about to discuss, it's roughly at about 17 minutes in on this video that he put out April 14th, 2022. I'll just tell you a little bit. So we'll look at the metaverse and the market cap in a sec, but he believes that metaverse and gaming will be as big as social media. For now, he says, we will see a point where it crashes down because there are no users for metaverse projects yet. Now, that's kind of important. And if you really think about it, are you playing any metaverse games that just came out last year? I'm not. I'm still waiting on projects to release, and believe it or not, they're alpha. They're alpha stage of the game. So he's got a point there. So he says also in a quote, this is like the internet when the 56K modem wasn't even invented yet. In other words, we're still in the infancy of metaverse and gaming, blockchain gaming, the infancy. So what do we do with that? If you want to just step back and say, okay, I want to be a serious crypto investor. I'm tired of just buying crypto on a whim just because I feel like buying crypto today. Now, what if we took a step back and said, well, what if I come up with a plan? True bear markets don't come around too often. And if I wanted to get into something and invest and hold it for a while, what would be a smart time to enter in any market? Well, you'd buy low. So bottom of a bear market is about as low as you can go. Now, when that is, I don't know, but I'm watching. I am definitely watching and following this guy's, Alex Becker's plan. Very interesting plan he has. And his plan, he tweaked it because before he had this plan back in March 2022, which we'll get into, he gets into that, he did something which, if you go back in time, he would do it differently. And now he may get a second chance to do that. And this is what this video is going to be about. Because like I said, love him or hate him, the man makes sense. Now, let's get back here. He talks about right now, he admits it right now, skilled traders can make money trading gaming tokens. Right now in this market, even though the trend is downtrending, it is possible. Real traders can make money at it. They can lose money too. Trust me. But the reality is that he thinks prices are going to go even lower and that the bear market has not begun yet. And when it hits hard and it bottoms, that is when he figures he'll buy in and make millions of dollars. Thus, the title of his video, my biggest crypto buy ever, expecting 110 million back. Yeah, he sometimes writes titles that are pretty catchy and kind of fantastic. it's not quite clickbait, but you know, it catches your eye and you want to listen. And so I did listen. I usually do listen to his videos. And yeah, so very interesting stuff. So let's jump over here. So CoinMarketCap, you go into what is it? Categories. And he went into metaverse, and he was just looking at the total market cap, 28 billion. Let's call it 29 billion market cap for top metaverse, for the metaverse token section. 28 billion. And then he goes and compares that to good old Ethereum. So we said 29 billion, and Ethereum's market cap is 364 billion. So 29 billion for the whole metaverse gaming world market cap, 29 billion versus 364 billion for Ethereum. The point being, it has room to grow. It's low, it has room to pump up. Not financial advice. I cannot predict the future. Anything could happen. Everything could just suddenly go down and never come back. I don't know. I have no way to tell. But it's just a point to say that there is room to grow in the metaverse and gaming section. So going forward with that theory that perhaps the metaverse and gaming section can grow and grow pretty good if it does in a bull run. No, remember that, a bull market. Let's look at his past now. So he jumps back to the past when he got in to Bitcoin, good old Bitcoin. Now I'm just going to go by memory here. The big market dump was March 2022, roughly. Here we go. Sorry, March 2020. Let's go back. Sorry, I always do this. Every time I want to show you something, I have to go back, and it's like, okay, so this, even though it looks small right here, that was the March pullback. You know, the stock market dumped, planes got grounded, there were lockdowns, countries closed borders. What happened? The stock market dumped, and the crypto market dumped pretty hard too. So according to Alex, I'll just resize this. So after that happened, he jumps over here. So March, let's see, March is around here on this one, right down here. So here we go, March 2020. And then he was in Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps up. I don't know, he said where he got in, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It was lower than this. So, and he didn't sell off, I guess. And then it pulled back in. So now he's here. We got in over, let's just say here-ish, and he's still holding right here. Now, at this point, he says somewhere around here, he gets into altcoins. And this is what he wants to do differently this time around. And he makes it clear. So he gets in up high in altcoins. Higher, not the highest, but higher. So he missed out. Had he bought in altcoins, he goes in just about any altcoin that was half decent, and it's not saying much back then. Had he got in at the bottom and got into altcoins, he would have made stupid money if he got in low enough. So his video that we're going over right now, just a part of his video, is about how he is going to do things differently on the second go around. So he would like to see history repeat itself, see a good market dump, like right back down. That's what, you know, ideally, I'm not going to say ideally, it could happen. Probably won't dump as hard, but we get into a real serious bear market and buying opportunities are out there. Where do you buy the bottom? How do you pick the bottom? Something like this is what he's kind of referring to. A low point, way lower, where if there was a full-on bull run, poof. See what I mean? Huge, because Bitcoin, it might only double or triple, whereas altcoins, and let's just say the things he likes, metaverse and gaming, could, what, 1000x? We don't know, but it's possible because a small number to begin with can go up really high and at a huge percentage because it was really small to begin with. You see where we're going with this? So that's the plan in a nutshell. That is his, he says it better probably, but that's his plan. He wants to see another buying opportunity like this and a huge pump up. Will it happen? We don't know. So going ahead with that, he talks about, you know, how somebody who puts in $100, $500 into, you know, dirt cheap gaming and metaverse plays. Let's have a look here. I'm just gonna jump over here. Like El Cheapos, and can't be able to pick the bottom. That's the thing. That's the whole thing, and that's not easy. And he kind of says that the bottom, it's not now. The bottom will come, according to him. And here's the deal. And here's the elephant in the room. After the big dump in March 2020, what happened? Things started to pick up big time. We'll go back to Bitcoin, or not. Yeah, here we go. Things started to pick up big time. So we have March, the big dump right here, all down. And then what was really going on back then? People stayed home from work. You remember, a lot of people stayed home from work. But what else happened during this time? Check is in the mail. People were getting checks to stay home that for some people were bigger than their normal paycheck. And a lot of people had downtime. They were at home, twiddling their thumbs. Suddenly they were newly rich, so to speak. And they had extra cash each month. And a lot of people were like, hey, I want to get into a hobby. I want to do something that I never had time to do before. And for some of them, that was learning how to trade cryptocurrency, because it's never been easier. There's apps that you go on and suddenly you have a brokerage account and you have access to a wallet, and you can go and swap or trade on a crypto exchange, you know, move your cash over to the exchange and then buy Bitcoin or whatever back then. So suddenly there was an influx of cash into the crypto markets. A lot of it was stimulus checks, both in Canada, United States too. And that I have to bring up because it's kind of the elephant in the room that nobody really wants to talk about. There was a massive pump, but also there was free money basically, and people had it and they spent it. So that's called adding liquidity to a market. That has to be taken into account, because will we be able to repeat this big run up without stimulus checks? And nobody talks about that. Alex didn't talk about that, but I'm talking about that. So it's in the back of my mind. We're in an economy right now where there's a surprise pop-up war. Yeah, Russia invaded Ukraine, 2 months ago? And that's traumatic. That's terrible. We're going to have inflation, and interest rates are on the rise. And there's going to be supply chain shortages, and things are just expensive. Have you been to the gas station lately? So are people feeling as rich as they did when they had stimulus checks coming in? Probably not. So that's something to look out for. So just because if this kind of a scenario happens again where everything kind of dumps, and like I want to get in low, I cannot realistically say that it's going to pump up really, really, really high, because there are no stimulus checks this time around. But that doesn't mean it cannot happen. But it's just something that's on my radar. So it's going to be interesting. So according to him, we have not hit rock bottom. Things are going to go down, and he's going to see it as a buying opportunity. So are you seeing it that way? I'm going to see it that way too. None of this is financial advice. I do not know what's going to happen, but that is called having a plan. So having a plan to buy in stupid low, and he goes, and also he's saying what he suggests people do right now is go say, so we're in the metaverse and the metaverse projects, and he goes, make a list, do it now, go out, eyeball every one of your favorites and maybe things that you never considered before, and look for good projects that seem like they're going to not just go up, but something that has some substance to it. And I believe he mentioned Theta Network. He was talking about, what else? If you just listen to this video, you'll be able to pull out some of the things that he said. I know he talks about, I have videos on UFO gaming where Alex talks about those. UFO Gaming. Check out my playlist for that too. Very interesting project. I may, not gonna say I will, I do own UFO Gaming, and I may buy more if this thing plunges. MetaHero is also on my radar too. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So he's like, make a list. I know he mentioned, I did a video on his just the other day on Veracity, because he talks about that. Make a list of cryptos that you would consider buying if we have a market plunge, if it goes lower, a real bear market. What would those cryptos be, and what would your buy-in price be, and why would you do it? Just why. So keep that in mind. The more you think, the more you shop around, the more you look now. It's called preparation. What you would do if the market dumped and you really believe that it was going to pump after, like a real bull run. So what would those coins be? And in his video, he does go over some coins, and he makes it clear not to buy, hold, wait, do your research, that kind of thing. So that's one thing to do. So where's the money going to come from? You're not getting a stimulus check. You're not, you might have to earn money, because there's one thing I want to do, and I suggest to other people, don't spend money that you cannot afford to lose. Don't spend money you can't afford to lose. So one thing, I suggest people do is get a second job. Well, where am I going to get the energy for a second job? Where? Well, this YouTube channel that I have right now, I started in around Christmas time, 4 months ago. So that'd be December 2021. And I'd been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for a while, but I just didn't have the energy to do it until I quit caffeine. I'm serious. I quit caffeine, and I tell people, you quit caffeine, you can get a side hustle. If you feel down, you're worn out, and you keep drinking coffee because you need that burst, and then you fall into this trap of crashing down, let me tell you, the best thing I did for myself was quit caffeine. Now I got more energy, and I put my energy to good use. I'm capitalizing on my energy now. It's like I gained a couple hours in my day forever now to pursue what I want to pursue. And in this case, it happens to be a YouTube channel. Other people, they leave comments. I started a side hustle. I feel I sleep better. I have more strength. So where there is a will, there's a way. And if there's a plan behind that will, it can happen. And quitting caffeine, for me, made something happen. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm really leaning into it. And I have quite a few subscribers and a lot of views and a lot of videos for 4 months. And I could not do that 1 year ago. I had the idea of it, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. I'm too tired. Well, I did something about it. I quit caffeine, and here I am. So like I said, money that a person can afford to lose, get a second job, and tell yourself, well, that's going to be what I invest in my crypto portfolio when crypto really dumps hard. When Alex's bear market finally arrives, I'll be ready. And that's a plan. That's a solid plan. And that, and then if somebody lost their money, it's money that they could afford to lose because they went out and got extra money. Do you see what I mean? And time is on our side right now. If I believe what Alex says, that the big dump has yet to happen, the other shoe has yet to fall, we're still ahead. We're still ahead. So according to him, make a list. What would you like to buy dirt cheap? What do you think? That's sort of some business, like something with like a solid business foundation where they could take off. They could do their project to completion. Because a lot of these things are not up and running yet. UFO Gaming has a game, actually does. And a lot of other things are just still ideas and they want to make something out of them. So that's the idea. So can you pick out the ones that could make something happen if, you know, they wanted to, versus the things that are just kind of pump and dumps? Can you pick those out? You got to be able to. And I'm going to be following Alex along the way too, because I really like his videos. I like I like how he looks at things, and there is something to be said about his logic. Love him or hate him, I find some good in his videos from a trading perspective. And yeah, very interesting stuff. So like I said, that's about all I'll say about that. So check out his video. So that one came out, my biggest crypto buy ever, expecting to make 110 million back. All right, we'll see. And if you want, please subscribe to Crypto Housewife. None of this is financial advice. None of it. I do this for fun. I love crypto. Now on here, I talk about, you know, Warren Buffett, how he buys, when he shops for stock. It's the same method that can be used for crypto. And check out my video there. I have more on Alex's stuff. And also, if you wanted to quit caffeine, I'll show you how I did it. So yeah, that's about all I have. So please subscribe and like my videos. And if you could share my videos, that'd be awesome. Also hit that bell to be notified when I have a new video coming out. And that's about all I have for you. So I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.